How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode series here in NHL 26. Moving into episode number 13 for the second half of year number 4 as the 28-29 season rolls on. In the last one, we had a pretty solid first half as reigning Stanley Cup champions. We're 10th best in the NHL, but in the ever almighty Atlantic Division, that's only best for 4th and a wildcard spot right now. It was a modest 21-17-3 record. Okay, 42 win pace. But when you think that 7 out of the 8 teams in the Atlantic have 20 wins or more at the halfway point, or even before, look at the Panthers with 20 wins and 4 games in hand over us. It is going to be very difficult to solidify ourselves, I guess you could say, or guarantee our spot in the postseason. The numbers are good, but could they be a little bit better? I do think so. Yes, we're 10th in the NHL, but as we've been seeing in our franchise mode series, especially in years 2, 3, and 4, you always got to go that extra mile in the Atlantic Division. And as you can see on the right side of your screen, we are going that extra mile. We're the second highest scoring team in the NHL at 3.66 goals for per game. Goals against, 12th in the league at 2.93. Our power play, which was atrocious last year, currently sits at 23.2%, 4th best in the league. Awesome. The penalty kill, okay, we're pretty much smack dab in the middle at 15th with 84.2% efficiency. That could be a bit better, but the numbers are looking good. Lucas Raymond leading the way with 44 points. He's on pace for 88 here at the halfway point. Larkin, 18 goals and 43 points, tied for the team lead in goals. Old man Carlson, John Carlson at the age of 39, still putting up the numbers, 38 in 41, now down to an 88 overall. Marco Kasper on a career high pace, looking for a 70-point season perhaps, after last season's career high of 53. Tuukka Reese's Pieces Riisanen tied for the team lead in goals, 18 from the 19-year-old, and on a 66-point pace to boot. Radish 27, Aho 23, Seider, Fyodorov, Sandin Pellikka, lots of good production, but it's a bit wonky. You know, like Kevin Fiala, only 6 goals. Yes, his ice time is super low, 87 overall, playing 13-17 per night, but on pace for only 12 goals. It's the efficiency I want to see, 8.7 shooting percentage, when historically Fiala's been 12-15%. That's the issue. Aside from that, Cowan, our new rookie, Ricky Sierra, Sisson, some defense there. And goaltending-wise, we've been okay, both with so-so records, but pretty solid numbers. Wallstead 15, 13, and 3, 1 shutout. Okay, 908 save percentage, 2.92 goals against average. But Trey Emperor Augustine in 11 appearances, the 85 overall, has a 6-5 record. Okay, but a 923 save percentage and 2.58 goals against average. So might it be time that he sees a few more starts? Potentially. So last episode, by the way, one of the shortest episodes in channel history for franchise mode. I think it's been at least maybe like 4 years since we've had an episode that short, at around like 35 and a half, 36 minutes. There wasn't really a lot to say to start the episode. This was our team, reigning cup champions. Let's see what they can do. And now we've gotten to the halfway point, and the AGMs do have a few thoughts about how we can, again, make sure that we solidify and guarantee our spot in the postseason. Hopefully not as a wild card, last 3 games, cross our fingers team, but as a divisional spot. So let's dive into some of the comments left by the AGMs in the last one. Let's go through these quickly, starting off with Gavin, who said, "Hey Data, a quick video today. Yes, don't remember the franchise mode video being less than 45 minutes. Exactly what I just said. Really not much going on though. The team is a little inconsistent, but at the end of the day, I have confidence that they're good enough to comfortably make the playoffs, and then we're off from there. I also don't really think we need to force anything with Fiala yet. We've been saying, he's playing limited ice time. He hasn't been producing super well. But Gavin says, if Sierra really picks it up, then maybe Fiala is someone we move. Either way, we can probably wait until the deadline. He could also be traded around the draft and be kept as our own little rental. You know, that's also an idea. Having a high overall player like him playing a minimal role is a luxury we can afford for now. But yeah, really no notes after that one. Thanks, Data, and see you in the second half. Let's go Red Wings. Thank you very much, Gavin. Hunter kind of echoing those thoughts on Fiala, saying, I don't personally think it's time for Fiala to go just yet if you think this team can compete for a cup again. And we do think that. I'd say keep him, see how the playoffs go, then go from there. He is also available for a very cheap, very affordable extension right now. So Hunter says maybe an offer he can't refuse before the draft contract-wise. So maybe a sort of sign and trade, get a top pick, maybe something like that. See how that goes. Great video again. Love the sim. Thank you very much, Hunter. Joseph says, keep the team the way it is, but we have to make the playoffs after winning the cup last year. Yes, absolutely. At the deadline, maybe a defenseman, but we need to keep the chemistry. Good luck. Thank you, Joseph. And for one more comment over in the Discord server, Intelligent Dice, one of our channel members, says, I think Fyodorov is playing too high up in the lineup. He's listed as a depth forward. He was before, now as an 82, he's listed as a third line forward, but I get what you're saying. Also has a -8 plus-minus, and while a 40-point pace may be acceptable, I don't think it is on a contender. I'd put him on the third line and experiment with whatever combination of Aho, Fiala, and Radish works for the second line. Also, I'm happy to eat crow on Karlsson. The second pair is a next season problem. Goaltending also seems fine. Only real blemish is the penalty kill, which is only average. What it does have, however, is 8 shorties, so keep the forwards, and it would be worth reviewing the D pairs on the penalty kill to see if we can't boost that just a bit. For trades, while I love the idea of renting Ryan Nugent-Hopkins from the Oilers, he could help that penalty kill and the middle six, I don't think Edmonton is in a position to give him away. They're top 5 in the league. He seems like their own rental. Same with us in Fiala, right? I also don't know Washington's status. They're below 500, but Ryan O'Reilly and Ryan Hartman offer some possibilities to strengthen that penalty kill and the bottom 6. Love Colton Sissons, but having Ryan O'Reilly as your fourth line center would be an upgrade. For defense, it's time to stock up on depth in case of injury. Sam Girard, Adam Larsson, Ryan Lindgren, and Marcus Pettersson all present interesting options. I think the price on Girard for a contending Colorado team would be too much. For the other options from the Pacific, I like that the Seattle Kraken guys are all on expiring deals. And for Pettersson, he signed for 2 more years after this one and would be 34, but not horrible at $5.5 million. It all comes down to fit and price. So for the lineup, keep Riisanen, Larkin, Raymond. Second line, let's start Fiala, Kasper, Aho. Third line, Fyodorov, Cowan, Radish. Third line, Dower Nilsson and Sierra on the wings, but now Ryan O'Reilly as your fourth line center, and Sissons and Weisblatt are your extras. For the defense, Edvinsson Karlsson, Sandin Pellikka and Seider, Ferraro and Lyubushkin, and then kind of like your fourth pair is Jacob Bernard-Docker and some sort of rental who's there ready to go. The Mask of Patience replies and says, I think I agree with this lineup, and I don't know what moves we can make. This team is stacked on paper. We just need them to wake up and put it all together. I'm curious about maybe giving more starts to Augustine. 11 games is kind of a small sample size, but that .923 save percentage just looks really good. Maybe give him a stretch of games and see how it pans out. I couldn't agree more. Thank you for all those thoughts. I like what Dice says as well about the potential ROR upgrade. It just becomes a lot of players would have to put on waivers, right? If we have Sissons and Weisblatt and Bernard-Docker and an extra defenseman and even John Gibson as the extra goalie, 5 scratches, it wouldn't work out. We have to put a couple guys on waivers like Philip Machar or even Gibson, who we could probably send down, but we want to keep him with the team right now. We just wouldn't be able to get all these guys. So either Machar would be out or Sissons would be out. Someone would have to be moving for that to happen, which definitely wouldn't be impossible. But let's start with the easy fixes first. So we're going to put Fyodorov down on the third line. We'll try Aho on the second line. We're going to go Fiala, Kasper, Aho, and we'll try a third line of Fyodorov, Cowan, and Radish. Let's see how that goes. Then over on the penalty kill, we're going to do the little mix-up on the deep pairings. We'll keep Seider on the top pair. We're going to go ahead and bring in Lyubushkin to play with Moritz Seider on that top unit, I guess we could call it. Then Edvinsson Karlsson, on the second, and the third Ferraro, Sandin Pellikka. So we'll just make that change there between Lyubushkin and Ferraro. Since he has the 88 shot blocking, 85 stick checking, Lyubushkin will come to the top penalty kill unit with Moritz Seider. The forwards seem to be okay. We could make a change there, but like you said, all those shorthanded goals, let's keep it as is, at least for the moment, and see if that little defensive swap maybe boosts the percentages by, just a point or two. Goaltending-wise, yes, let's give a couple of starts to Augustine to start this second half of the season, and we'll go from there. We have some ideas in mind. We have some trade potential, especially with the Capitals or with the Kraken for a defenseman, for a depth forward, penalty kill guy. Yes, lots of ideas, but I say let's give that little shakeup in the middle six a chance. Let's see if this team gets anything going in the second half, and we can adjust from there, especially moving towards the deadline. Let's see how Fiala continues to do. A lot yet to be seen here in the second half. So we'll simulate towards this first game of the second half against the Kraken here at Clement Pledge Arena. I'm actually going to keep Wallstedt in for the first of the back-to-back, and then we'll go Augustine for a stretch of games starting with the Avs. So first period, 1-1. Easton Cowan, shorthanded goal. It's a 9th shorty. Look at this. And Lucas Reichel ties it. Second period, 4-1 Kraken. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Augustine's in. What happened here? Yeah, Wallstedt led in the first, then Augustine... Actually, okay, so Wallstedt allowed 3 on I'm not sure how many, and then got pulled. Larkin makes it a 4-2 game with his team-leading 19th goal of the season. We're down by 2, outshooting them 35-30. But the Kraken may have gotten too many there in the second period for us to climb back from a 3-goal third period, and we'll drop that one by a score of 4-2. Shots end 38-35, but the Kraken pull it out with Freddie Anderson getting first-star honors. All right, 4-2 Kraken win. We're going to be going with Trey Augustine for a little stretch here, starting with the Avs at Ball Arena. So auto-rotate goalies will be turned off. Augustine didn't look great in relief there, but let's give him a few starts. And yeah, Ricky Sierra, was he just an 81? Now he's an 82? Ricky Sierra listed as a third-line checker. I'd love to get more ice time for him as well. It is tough. That's why I don't think Fiala can stay next season. But anyways, that is a problem for next season. Let's kick it off here against the Avs on the road with Augustine between the pipes. Then we'll go into some calendar simulation. First period, 2-1 Avs. Sandy and Plika for us, but Greenway and Nason make it 2-1. Goal apiece in the second. Radish for us, tying it, but then Turcotte gets one back. Shots 29-24 for the Avs. There's a fourth from Bjorkstrand, 4-on-32. Power play, Colorado killed off. Once again, down 4-2 in the third period. We give up a 5-on-3 power play. Somehow we kill it off. Shout out to the penalty killers. But then we lose our own power play, giving them another chance. Can't stay out of the box, and now it comes down to the last 5 minutes. Too little, too late. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 penalties in the third period. So you can't blame the goaltending in a game like that. 2 losses to start the second half, and I'm not impressed. Let's go a couple of weeks here. Let's allow Augustine to have 4 more starts. And then, yeah, no thank you, Colorado. We'll see against Vegas. They're a losing team right now. On the road against the Blackhawks, who are a losing team as well. We win 4-2. So 4-2 loss, 4-2 loss, 4-2 win. Thank you very much. Hosting the Flyers, we beat them 4-1. Always 4 goals. Then a 4-3 win. The winning team with 4 goals, 5 games in a row now. Hosting the Penguins, 7-1 win. All right, so after losing back-to-back, we win 4 in a row. Let's keep it rolling. Yeah, calendar sim, let's not touch a thing. Calendar sim, keep going. Hosting the 16, 27, and 5 Vegas Golden Knights, who beat us 4-2. On the road against the Sens, we beat them 5-2. And then finally, before the All-Star break, whatever you want to call it, Olympic break, 2-1 loss. So I'll pause here to update the scouting. 26, 21, and 3 at the moment. All right, so scouts are sent out, and check out the numbers on the right side of your screen. Goals against getting better. Power play slightly worse, but penalty kill up to third best in the NHL at 88.1. Oh my goodness, in just like how many games since the halfway point? 7 or something? All right, cool. So let's keep on rolling. Let's go see definitely some divisional games. Maybe the Montreal Canadiens. We look in the Atlantic. The Canadiens are, well, everyone's around there. Senators, Canadiens. Can't go see all of them. But let's go see the Habs in a couple weeks' time from now. No, thank you. We'll keep Max Plant. Let's move on ahead. Get through the All-Star break, the Olympic break, whatever it is here in 2029. Hosting Utah, 5-3 loss. Hosting the Senators. Here's a big one. 4-0 shutout victory. Very good. On the road against the Devils, 5-3 win. Now against the 31, 16, and 5 Montreal Canadiens, we're 28, 22, and 3. Let's do it. First period, 0-0. Second period, 2-0 Canadiens. Lane Hudson on the power play, then Cole Caulfield. Shots are 28-18. We're down 2-0. Power play Canadiens. David Reinbacher scores as the power play expires. It's a mix of goaltending being up and down, get a shutout, then we allow 3 or 4, but then we can't get any goals. Risanen gets 1 on Fowler, but we're down by 3 with 10 minutes to go. Hold on, Kevin Fiala makes it 4-2. All right, on Fowler, just got called up by the Canadiens in the real world. 4-2, power play Red Wings, killed off, and that'll likely be it as the Canadiens hang on. Despite us getting 2 goals late, we lose 4-2. Slavkovsky, Fowler, Hudson, there you go. Let's maybe do, let's say 2 more games for Augustine. Then let's get back to Wallstead a little bit. Let's go Edmonton and the Rangers for Trey Emperor Augustine. Marcus Foligno on waivers. Has that X factor. What is it again? That's the Warrior X factor. 2 years left, 102 penalty minutes in 52 games. No, 37 years old. We'll pass on him. Hosting the Oilers. 4-3 shootout win. Every point counts. On the road MSG. We get shut out 1-0. All right, we'll go back to Wallstead for a little stretch here. Augustine, 922 save percentage, doing well. Got to give it to him. But what's going on here? Offense-wise, what's not clicking? What is not clicking? Larkin, Carlson, 50 points. Raymond, Casper, Radish, Risanen, 23 goals. What's not clicking? Last 10 games for Fiala, 8 points in 10 games. No, he's doing just fine. Fyodorov, doesn't he have something similar? He's at 16 goals. He's loving life on that third line. He has 5 points in his last 10 games, including 4 goals. Is it Max Aho? No, 7 points in his last 10 games? What is it? And the goaltending's been solid enough too. It's just unlucky matchups where we're losing 1-0 or 4-3 and things like that, I guess. Fyodorov up to an 83 overall now as well. Still a third line scoring forward. Defense looks good. Chemistry's good. That third pair plus minus is off the charts. Let's just make sure the AHL lines are good. I think there were some injuries that got that player back to full health. And what about Radish, by the way? Radish, what has he done in the last 10 games? Radish has 10 points in his last 10 games. No, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. Is really a fourth-line centerman change going to do much if we take out Colton Sissons and bring in Ryan O'Reilly and trade a draft pick? I don't know. Is it worth moving that kind of value? ROR, another year on his contract after this one. First period, 1-0 Red Wings is Ricky Sierra. Second period, 1-1. Sekera ties this game. Haven't had good luck in the second half in the slow sim so far this episode. 2-1. Dylan Larkin, another shorthanded goal from these penalty killers. 2-1 Red Wings. That could be a difference maker in a game like this. 9 minutes to go. Shots tied at 30. Is that going to be enough from the captain with a shorty early in the third? It just might be with 2 minutes to go. Coming back, and we hang on. Thank you, Dylan Larkin. Shots end 33-32 for the Flames. Big bounce back. Not bounce back, but welcome back for Jesper Wallstedt. First star with 32 saves. All right. So we lose 1-0, then win 2-1. Tight 1-goal games. There's our 30th win of the season. 5 more games till the deadline. Let's do 4 more and get to the game against Winnipeg here. Avalanche, Canadiens, Blues, and Islanders hosting the Avs, who are 28-19 and something. It was a 10. They beat us 4-2. On the road against the Canadiens, we need a win here. 4-3 overtime loss. We get a point out of it. Hosting the Blues, then hosting the Islanders. 6-1 win. Thank you. Whoa, Jackson Lacombe in a third for 2/3 are probably our best goalie prospect. That's interesting. Jackson Lacombe was it the right roster when no 84 overall Jackson Lacombe, only 4 points in 11 games, playing 10 minutes per night, getting buried. 2 years on. Yeah, I see why the value might be low on him. Yeah, it doesn't simulate super well. In theory, that would be an interesting offer, but not going to do that. And the Islanders, we beat them 5-3. All right, we're 32, 25, and 4. Still in that wild card conversation. You know what? The Canadiens, the Lightning, the Maple Leafs, they're all pulling away. It's going to be a battle against the Bruins and then in the Metropolitan as well for who gets the wild card spots. Blue Jackets, Islanders. So that was a big 5-3 win against the Isles. Whew. The power play has dropped off to 10th best, but the penalty kill at 2nd best. We're still scoring very well. Our goals against 7th best. We're top 10 in all those things that matter, I guess you could say. But do we make a trade at the deadline here? Yeah, so I've done my due diligence, and there's not much out there. In Vegas, there's Mark Stone, who's down to an 80 overall. Could be interesting to try and pick up a Stanley Cup champion like him, but look at the attributes now at 36 years of age. The defense is what you'd want him for. 75 shot blocking, 81 stick checking. Yes, still the good offensive attributes, but I think the thing that makes the most sense here would be Ryan O'Reilly from the 26, 32, and 3 Washington Capitals. Ryan O'Reilly, 1 more year at just over $5 million next season, but still an 83 overall, with a 2-way forward, still with the 4-star puck skills, has the tape-to-tape X factor. We have a ton of cap space like crazy, so it wouldn't be anything difficult to take on another $5 million for next season. If we could keep Colton Sissons for the rest of the season, expiring contract, he can just be 13th forward, 14th forward, whatever it might be, that would be great. Then we can say, here's what we're thinking for a return back to the Capitals that would be interesting for them in their position. I think it's time to move on from Max Plante. I think Carter Bear could be an idea still for us in our system. 78, 22 goals in the AHL right now as well. But Max Plante is just not simulating well whatsoever. Former second-round pick of the Yzerman regime. 40 points in 72 games last year in Grand Rapids, -32. This year, just 6 goals, 20 points in 35 games. The guy's playing almost 20 minutes per night, first-line center. Just not working out for Max Plante. So if we can get some value for Max Plante right now, we'll go ahead and send him to the Capitals. I'll also send them Philip Machar. We haven't had need for him, plus we have to put him on waivers anyways. So here's Machar, still a young enough forward as well. Machar and Plante go to the Capitals. They send us Ryan O'Reilly and whatever other contract they want. And, you know, we put him into 4th-line center position, and we see where it goes from there. Let's throw in this guy Dahlqvist, sure. 2 years left, I would prefer an expiring guy. Allen, is it Cam Allen? Is that him? Yes, Cam Allen, 5th-round pick in 2023. So ROR and Cam Allen coming to us for Max Plante and Philip Machar. Would that make sense for the Capitals? They get to shed his contract, still on the books next season as well. They want to spend money in free agency with Gavin McKenna in their lineup. I think it does. They get a decent young player as well. What do you say here? Washington, trade accepted. Thank you very much. Let's do it. Hopefully that's the last piece of the puzzle. Things are going well, but there's those little intangibles, right? So let's fix up the roster, get ROR in here. Welcome aboard Ryan O'Reilly, and let's get into the last little stretch here of 20 games or so. All right, so welcome aboard ROR. What a resume he brings with him as well. Stanley Cup, Conn Smythe, Selke, Lady Bing. Let's go for the 38-year-old who's going to play fourth line center plus third unit penalty kill. And then we'll keep Gibson, Bernard Docker, Sissons. I thought about getting some defense, but honestly, the defense has been, of all the things that are working well, the best. The offense has been great. The plus-minus has been solid. Axel Standing Pleak up to an 85 overall now. And on the third pair, plus 23, plus 21. Worst case, we bring in Jacob Bernard Docker, who's been incredible in his little moments as well for the last couple seasons. And in a massive emergency, down in the AHL, we have a couple of 79 overall guys, even 80 overall guys. We have Wieland, we have Vico, we have Gagne. I think we'll be okay. Not that we shouldn't go and get one, but we don't really have the value. I wouldn't want to move. We don't have a second-round pick. I wouldn't want to move a third and a prospect or a first for like an eighth defenseman who might never play. So I see the value in getting a defenseman, but we don't really have, for lack of a better term, the value to go out and get one after just making that Plante trade there. So let's see it. ROR in town, not in Detroit, but in Winnipeg at the Canada Life Center as we take on the Jets for the first game of the final stretch. First period, 2-1 Red Wings, Ferraro and Dower Nilsson, third pair D and fourth line. Kyle Connor gets one back for the Jets. Second period, 4-2. Olofsson on the power play, but then Carlson on the power play, and Ryan O'Reilly in his Red Wings debut puts us up 4-2. Third period here on the road, power play Jets. Some pound kill action for ROR, killing off that one. Very good. 2-goal lead here in the third, close to doubling the Jets' shots. Halfway through the third period in Winnipeg, a freezing night in March. Radish with yet another shorthanded goal for these penalty killers. That's crazy. Game ends 6-2 the final. Fyodorov adding one more for good measure. 3 stars, Radish a goal and 2 assists, Carlson a goal and an assist, and O'Reilly a goal and an assist in his Red Wings debut. There you go. That's a trade deadline, and that's a big win. Number 33 on the year. Yes, 33, 25, and 4. We're 6-3-1 in our last 10. Very nice. Let's sim to the next game now, and we'll go through the deadline. Colin Miller on waivers. 2 years left at $1.5 million. 80 overall. We have those guys already in our system. Tempting because we have so much cap space, but it's the 2 years that makes me not so interested. We'll pass on that. John Carlson, by the way, leading the team in points with 57 down in the bottom right corner. That's incredible from Old Man Carlson. All right, what happened around the NHL? So, of course, our trade was the first of the entire season. Uyghur and Coleman going from Calgary to Boston for a first, a second, and a prospect. Wow. Evans and Falk also went to the Boston Bruins. So the Bruins get Evans, Falk, Uyghur, and Coleman in a couple of different trades, while Jackson McComb going to Dallas in a deal for a first-round pick. Shilov's going to the Maple Leafs in a deal for a first-round pick. Cam York to Carolina. Protas going to the Canadiens for a first and Roslovic. They get to dump the Roslovic contract. Very nice, but the Capitals get to acquire a first-round pick. A first and a prospect for Marcus Pettersson. See, that's the price we didn't really want to pay. Valimaki. Brian Rust going to the Rangers. Tolvin and Data 72 Hall of Famer going to the Jets. Picks, Sherwood. Turcotte going to the Canadiens. Ryan Graves going to the Panthers. Nason. A first and Lindbergh going to the Ducks for a third, Lavoie, and 2 other pieces. Okay. All right, so there's the trade deadline for you here in 2029. Let's get back to the calendar. You know what? We have a couple of back-to-backs coming up. So I would like to, I'm going to go turn off auto goalie rotate since Wallstedt's been getting the majority. 4-3 overtime win against the Flyers. That's big. Here we go against the Maple Leafs. Yes, they're 81 points and we're at 72, but there's still 19 games left in the season. It's not impossible to catch a team like the Maple Leafs who are 37, 22, and 7. Here we go. First period, 3-2 for the Red Wings. Raymond gets one. Roy ties it. Riisanen puts us back up. Roy ties it again. Now Fiala puts us up. Second period, 3-3. It's Max Domi on the power play tying it. Shots 28-22 through 40 in our favor. Tie game here in the third. Power play Red Wings. It's Tuukka Riisanen. Reese's Pieces puts us up 4-3. A huge Eastern Conference matchup. Come on, everyone counts. Every single little point counts. That power play goal puts us up by 1 with 4 minutes to go now. Shots 38-28 in our favor. Final 2 minutes. Oh no, Austin Matthews! Matthews with 38 seconds left pushes it to overtime. We'll get a point out of it, but we allow the Maple Leafs to get a point. And in the shootout, we lose 5-4. What a choke! 5-4 shootout loss. Riisanen scores twice, and we choke it. We get a point, but we choke it. Oh my my goodness. And here come the Lightning. We need a win against them. They have 40 wins. I'll fix that down in Grand Rapids, and I'll get Autoglow Rotate turned off as well. All right, Augustine will start this one here against the Lightning. Every game counts. It's going to be a crazy rush to the finish, race to the finish, whatever you want to call it. We're going to have 58 wins, and we're still going to be fighting for a spot in this division. First period, 1-1, Radish on the power play. Second period, 1-1, it remains. Shots 22-21 for the Lightning. 1-1 game in the third. It always comes down to a nail-biter. Power play Lightning killed off by the Red Wings. Well done. Lightning pulling away in the shots a little bit here. Halfway through the third, another power play for Tampa. Killed off once more. Come on, momentum back in our favor. Please, a third power play for the Lightning. Killed off for a third time. A minute left. No! Mason Appleton, the former Red Wing, with 10 seconds left. We kill off 3 power plays in the third. And we still choke it somehow. Augustine makes 37 saves. Back-to-back games of allowing a goal in the final minute that just ruins it for us. And now here we are against another rival, division rival in the Panthers, as we lose 1 in regulation and 1 beyond regulation. 0-1-1 in those 2 games. First period, there we go, Sandy Plika and Fiala. Second period, 2-1, Reinhardt. We have a 1-goal lead. Always the nail-biter in the third with a 1-goal cushion. Let's watch this one go down the drain again. Hold on, Larkin, power play goal. Do my eyes deceive me? Shots 31-27, Red Wings with a 2-goal cushion. I'm going to be risky, and we'll call it 4-1 victory, the final. Sheesh, thank goodness. What's with the slow sim tomfoolery? Just nothing going right in the slow sim. Finally a 4-1 win. Let's go see the Canadiens. Yeah, the Canadiens or the Maple Leafs. Let's go see the Canadiens. Can't stop for every game. It's going to be a long enough episode. Let's get a couple weeks done. 6 more games. Here we go. Hosting the Dallas Stars. 5-2 loss. On the road against the... No! Injured knee from Jesper Wallstedt. All right, Augustine going in, and our postseason hero, John Gibson, coming into the backup role. Injured knee, not out for long, just to maybe like 5 games. 5-1 win against the Hurricanes. Might Gibson see a start here? He might. Upper body injury for Lyubushkin, no problem. Jacob Bernard-Docker comes in. On the road against Buffalo, 2-1 loss, then a 5-2 win, thankfully, against the Lightning. St. Louis Blues, 7-6 shootout win. Wow. Wallstedt is back. Very nice. How did Gibson do? Did he appear? No, he did not. All right. He's ready, though, if needed. Back to Wallstedt. 7-6 shootout win. All right. Maple Leafs. Here we go. 4-2 win. What a surprise. All right. Looking for our 40th win of the year. Into the final 10 games in a wild card spot. We were on pace for what? Was it 42 wins? We have 10 games left. We only need 3. And so we're going to have a better second half, but it still might not even be enough. Oh, my goodness. Hosting the Canadiens here, who are 42-23-7. We need it. SpongeBob meme. I need it. Fyodorov first shot getting the goal. Thank you. 1-0. Second period, 2-2. Caulfield ties it. O'Reilly puts us back up, but then Lane Hudson ties it again. Last time we played the Canadiens, it was also a Hudson-Caulfield period for the Canadiens. 2-2 game, third period. Detroit Red Wings power play. Killed off by the Canadiens. Here at Little Caesars Arena, it's Slavkovsky putting the Canadiens up. Don't tell me we're choking it again in the slow sim. Slow sim, no one can score. Thank you, Radish! The postseason slow sim hero last year. No, damn it! Another third period collapse. Oh my goodness. All right. 5-3 Canadiens, and that might, who knows, at the end of the season, that might be what kills us right there. That might be it right there. The Sabres are another big one. Same for the Bruins. Let's go see the Bruins. Every game, we gotta. But the slow sim, we're not winning the slow sim, so maybe we don't go see the slow sims. We want to go see them because they're exciting, but then we lose them. How did Bernard-Docker do? Bernard-Docker, 4 games, 1 assist, even plus minus. Nice. Let's go ahead and put Lyubushkin back in. Thank you. He was such a random surprise. Thank you, Ilya Lyubushkin, for what you've been. Hosting the New Jersey Devils, 4-3 overtime loss. 84 points. The Bruins right above us. We have 1 game in hand. You know what? I'm going to say we don't even go see it. On the road against the Bruins at TD Garden. Let's go. Yes, 1-0 shutout victory. Not only a win, but a shutout. Oh my goodness. We'll go to the Sabres maybe. but the calendar helped us there. On the road against the Penguins, after a shutout victory, 6-3 win. Hosting the Hurricanes, 3-2 win. So we hit our pace of 42 wins with 5 games left in the season. Looking down here, so the Canadiens have clinched. What's up here in the Metropolitan? So the Hurricanes, the Islanders. So it looks like it's going to come down to, we're not safe yet, but we're pulling away a little bit. We're definitely not safe yet, but we're pulling away a bit. We'll go see the Sabres, who are 41-35-0. Did I see that right? First shot of the game, Larkin scores 1-0 after 20. Second period, 1-0 it remains. Shots 28-19 for the Red Wings. 1-0 Detroit. Power play Buffalo, killed off by the Wings. Power play Sabres yet again, killed off once more. We love giving up the power plays and not scoring on any of our own chances. Power play for us, killed off. Still up just 1-0. No scoring in the slow sim. Why would there be? Oh my goodness, don't tell me. Oh yes, Maurice Seider puts it to bed. 2-0 Red Wings victory. Shots end 44-29. It's a 29 save shutout from Jesper Wallstedt. 42 saves from Devin Levi, but not enough. Wow, another shutout win. 2 shutouts in 4 games on a 4-game win streak. We're 4-0-1 in our last 5. We're closer to clinching. Not there yet, though. We'll go see. Let's keep on simulating through. Hopefully we can clinch one of these 2 games against the Lightning or the Devils. On the road against Tampa, then on the road against New Jersey. Here we go. Against the Lightning, 4-3 loss. Head coach replaced there. 4-3 loss. Then against the Devils. Conversation with Bender. That means we made it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it. Once again, it takes to one of the final games of the season with 2 games left. We clinch with 2 games left. That overtime victory gets us in. 5-4 overtime loss. Oh, I'm losing years off my life because of these Red Wings final 2 weeks of every season. Then a 4-2 loss against the Senators. Yeah, we win when we have to, then let's lose 3 in a row. Oh, let's try and win. No, we're not going to get a divisional spot. It's going to be a wild card spot. It's going to be a tough matchup. The East is just East Coast, Beast Coast. What are you going to do? All right, hosting the 37-7 Panthers, who fell apart in the second half. First period 0-0, second period 3-1. Lundell gets 1, but then Fyodorov and back-to-back goals from Dower Nilsson, 21 seconds apart. I would wager that's the first multi-goal game of his career. Up by 2 here in the third period. Can we end the season with a W? We're on pace for 42. Can we end with 44? Yes, we will. Lucas Raymond gets 1 more. Shots end 34-32. 31 saves from Wallstedt. 2 goals from Dower Nilsson. 2 assists from Simon Edvinsson. And we officially make the playoffs with a record of 45. Oh, no, that was, okay, yes. 44, 31, and 7. Whew, I gotta breathe. We gotta breathe. Oh, my goodness. 44, 31, and 7. 4th best in our division. Where in the NHL did we finish? We were 7th best in the NHL, but 4th best in our division. Oh, 3.52 goals for per game. The 2nd highest scoring team in the league. The top 3 scoring teams in the league, all from our division. 2.8 goals against per game. 1, 2, 3. The 4th best goals against. But 3 of the top 4 all coming from our division. Power play of 18.7%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6th best in the league. Penalty kill at 87.5. That's crazy improvement to 3rd best. Well done. Thank you to those who gave some suggestions on the penalty kill. 24, 15, and 2 at home. 20, 16, and 5 on the road. 5, 3, and 2 in our last 10 games. The Lightning ended the season on a 10-game win streak. And now let's check out the points. Dylan Larkin, 35 goals and 81 points from our captain. Not quite last year's totals, but similar for the goal scoring. 15.2 shooting percentage, same as last year. And no one ends point per game plus, but Larkin leads the team. Lucas Raymond, who's on an 88-point pace, ends with 76, so a bit of a quieter second half. John Carlson, 74 points. Oh my goodness. Highest point total since 75 points in 2019-20. Wow. All right, John Carlson, thank you very much. Taylor Radish, we signed him for a reason. We kept him around. He scored 64 points, career high from Taylor Radish. Love that from him. 26 goals, 38 assists, and a plus 41. Marco Kasper does not hit his 70-point pace, but will take a career high 61. Great step forward from the 25-year-old who appeared in 1806 on average per night. Very good. Tuukka Riistinen, 33 goals and 55 points in his sophomore year. Great. 4 more goals and 6 more points. A little bit better. Good, but a lot more ice time. I would have wanted to see a bit more from Tuukka Riistinen. Aho, just 44 points from Max Aho. Now we start to see a drop. Max Aho, who in the playoffs last year scored 28 points in 28 games, now scores 44 and 82. Is it better than last year? Yes. Better plus minus as well, plus 14. But I still want to see more from the 86 overall. Eason Cowan, 44 points as third-line center. We can take that. Yep. Axel Sandin-Pellikka, 44 points as an 85 overall. New career high in his second full NHL season. Yep. 20 more points than last year. Good to see his production. Fyodorov, 25 goals and 43 points. He ended up loving life on the third line. Cool. Beating the pace that he was on as a second liner. Sider, 42. Edmondson, 40. Kevin Fiala, 15 goals and 39 points. Playing 14 minutes per night. What are you going to do? Ryan O'Reilly, as a Red Wing, scores 7 points in 21 games and is a +4. Playing fourth line minutes and third unit penalty kill. Very nice from ROR. Ricky Sierra ends his rookie season with 14 goals and 23 points. He will have a larger role next season. Dower Nilsson ends with 20 points. Not bad for playing 752 of ice time per night. Got to give it to him. Labushkin, 16 points plus 20. Sissons, 15 points in 61 games. Ferraro, 15 points plus 21. Bernard Docker, 1 assist in his 4 games. And for the goaltending, Wallstedt goes 28, 20, and 7 with 3 shutouts, a .910 save percentage, and 2.82 goals against average, while Trey Emperor Augustine goes 16 and 14, just 2 more wins, yet a shutout, .920 save percentage, and 2.57 goals against average. What was the problem with this team? I can't put my finger on it. Can any of you? William Nylander ends the season with 128 points to win the Art Ross. Rocket will go to Austin Matthews with 60 goals. Wow. Best plus minus. Sanheim 43, but Radish right there with a plus 41. Okay. For the defense, top scorer, Cale Makar with 95 points. John Carlson not far behind, though. Definitely some Norris votes for him. And for the goaltending, Vasilevsky, 43 wins. But if we said minimum 30 games played and look at the save percentage, there he is. Blackwood, Fowler, Montembeault, and then Trey Augustine, .920 save percentage, 4th best in league for goalies with 30 starts or more, or 30 appearances or more. And for goals against average, Augustine 3rd. There he is. There he is. It's crazy. And finally, rookie skaters, let's see. It's Sasha Boisvert, 44 points from the 23-year-old, 82 overall. All right, Landon Dupont, 44. Fyodorov tied for, second. Boisvert and Dupont tied for first. Fyodorov second in rookie scoring. But with a better plus-minus, might he win the Calder? Most goals and best plus-minus? I wonder if Fyodorov might be in there to win the Calder. Rookie goalies, there. Augustine, of course. He could definitely have some Calder votes. Okay, and in the AHL, by the way, I just want to see, especially Guimont, Jenzy McKenzie raised a good point last episode with his crazy save percentage. 45 points, 30 goals from Nicholas Franzen. Whoa, that's crazy. But 45 points from him and Farrell is the best in 70 games. Okay. Goaltending, Guimont, .931 save percentage, 2.23 goals against average, 5 shutouts. Very nice record from him down in the AHL. All right, so now it's time to see who we're going to be facing in round number 1 after having made it to the postseason. Thank goodness we're here. Wild card spot, though, and we're facing, please not Tampa, the New York Rangers. Thank goodness. Still tough, but thank goodness not the Tampa Bay Lightning. So the Lightning faced the first wild card spot, the second wild card spot. I guess the Bruins are facing the Lightning, and we get the winners of the Metro, and that's the Rangers, who went 46, 33, and 3. They won their division with that record. And so look at this. Us in a wild card spot faced the division champions who finished below us in the standings. What a crazy, twisted world we live in. All right, New York Rangers, who ended the season 4-6-0. I wonder. We're on the road. We don't even have home ice, though, even though we finished higher. New York Rangers, quick little peek at their lineup. Let's see. Lafrenière, Trocheck, and Perreault on the first line. Patty Kane at the age of 40, former Red Wing. We traded away to the Maple Leafs, yes, and then he rejoined the Rangers, who he was with them briefly in 22-23. Now it's parts of his 3rd season as a Ranger. All right, Zibanejad, Panarin on the second line. Miller, Nelson, Sikora on the third. Amadio, Edstrom, and Cooley. Wow, 86 overall. Will Cooley on the 4th line. Defense, Gavrikov, Fox, Shillington, Emery, Morrow, Schneider, and goaltending, Shesterkin backed up by Schmid with Rempe, Lehkonen, and Rust as the healthy scratches. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a season it was. Moving into the postseason, we scored more goals than the Rangers. They're better in goals against, but we're better in the power play by a lot, better in the penalty kill by a lot. Higher scorers, finished higher in the standings. What do you have to say? What went wrong with this team? Yes, we did well, but what went wrong? I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And what do we want to do for our lineup moving into the postseason? Last year, we saw incredible performances from Aho, from Kasper, from Fyodorov, from Radish. Do we put them higher in the lineup? Do we start it like this? How do we want to do it for the postseason? Same for the defense. Who's our starting goalie? I would think it's Jesper Wallstedt, but I'm willing to hear your thoughts on that as well. And I think we'll keep the special teams as they have been. We'll close it off there. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen, for this one. Leave a like if you haven't already, and subscribe. Get ready for our new live stream NHL 26 series coming your way. If you're watching at time of upload, it is tonight, Thursday, December 11th. We're starting our new live stream NHL 26 series. If you're watching after the date of upload, keep an eye out on Thursday evening. So hit that bell to be notified when we go live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. MLB The Show 25, NHL 26, AGM 26, our Red Wings series, career simulations as well. Join us as we get closer and closer to 10,000 subscribers to close off 2025. Getting excited for 2026 ahead. And as we enter the holiday season, who wouldn't love back-to-back Stanley Cups, right? So I look forward to seeing you once again in the next one for the 2029 postseason. Looking forward to reading your thoughts here on YouTube or over in the Discord server, link in the description. Thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you for Game 1 at Madison Square Garden.